and segment. And the reason being is because on the Aniya A show, we're going to put all of these clips on YouTube and share. I may not have 1 million viewers today presently, but soon and very soon, I feel like God is going to open that door and I will have 500,000 to 1 million views. Matter of fact, let's talk about visions and dreams and putting it down on paper. I have to stop being afraid of what's to come and I have to literally write out what I want. Being an entrepreneur, being a businesswoman, one of the things that I had to do early on is create what you call a business plan, also a vision statement. And if you guys know anything about business, you have to do a mission statement, a vision statement, a business plan, and you just have to budget your life around your baby, which is your business or your goals in being a business person and things of that nature. So, with that being said, I just wanted to come on tonight and literally share that I'm having a great day. Tomorrow is going to be another action packed day. This weekend is going to be pretty busy for your girl and I cannot wait. I'm so excited about what things are happening in my life. And I'm also taking a quick break tomorrow. So I'm going out of town tomorrow and I can't wait. It's been a long time coming, and I want to say that everything happens for a reason in its season. And so tomorrow night, I am going out of town, tomorrow afternoon, really. I'm going out of town and I can't wait to do that because I just work so much and so hard for the people, especially that sometimes I forget to take a break myself. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Aniya A, it seems like you just took a break and went to DC a couple of weeks ago. But you know what? You don't even know. That was kind of work too, because I did things that were work related, that were civil rights engagement related. And I literally had to be at certain places at certain times. And it was great to get away. But when you have to be chasing down, Ubers or drivers or, your planes or whatever it is that you are traveling on, buses and all sorts of devices that you utilize to travel on, then it's not so much fun because you're on a time constraint. So I say that to say, even though I, get away pretty frequently, I don't get away enough. You know, I have a group that I've started, and I'm going to talk about it here tonight because this initiative means so much to me. And if you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm super passionate about my people. I'm super, passionate about making effective change, changing the world, changing our mindsets and things of that nature. But one of the things that I'm most passionate about is money and making money, as well as literally, creating a financial future and financial freedoms for myself and those around me. And a lot of people in our communities, and when I say in our communities, I mean the Black and brown communities, but particularly the Black community, we have issues when it comes to money, when it comes to saving, when it comes to planning, when it comes to budgeting. In the ECI, which is the Economic Crisis Initiative, we don't utilize the word budget, we utilize financial checkups. And the reason being is because a lot of people, especially Black and brown people, predominantly Black people, are afraid, ready for this, to utilize the word budget. They think that it's a negative connotation and they particularly do not want to utilize that phrase. I get it. I used to feel the same way. I actually didn't do my first quote unquote budget until recently with my investment banker. And the reason being is because I was afraid to see how much money I had, how much money I was saving, how much money was going out, coming in, etc. So with that being said, I'm at the point in my life where I'm an adult and I have to make more adult decisions. I don't just work to travel anymore or work to play, which I used to do growing up. I felt like, well, let me say this. Because of all the deaths and the murders and the different things, literally, that would happen to me and around me at a young age, I literally felt as if I was going to die early. So I didn't think that saving money and planning for the future was a thing. I had investments, I had stocks, but when you have a lot of crisis and trauma in your life, you don't really planify for a future because you don't think you have a future. So that's a little bit of my truth. Oh, welcome to the Aniya A show. I see you, Mama Brenda. Hello, beautiful. As you can see, I am still kicking it after all day of ripping and running. I just got back in from Brooklyn and jumped right on this live. Thankfully, I have enough energy to be on live tonight. Christine Holland says that damn dog is your best friend. Yes, he is my best friend. But sometimes when you have a best friend that gets on your last nerve, you got to talk about it. Let me tell you again, guys, real quick. I walk in the house and, you know, my best friend is in the room hiding because I forgot I left the window open because, you know what? It felt so good earlier and the heat was on. And I was like, I don't want that damn dog, to die of a heat stroke. So I leave the window cracked, but it was pretty widely open. And upon doing so, he had to take cover. He had to go and hide somewhere. So as soon as I get home, I'm looking for him and I can't find him. And then all of a sudden I hear his leash or chain thing. And I'm like, oh, where you been hiding? And let me tell you guys the funny part about him, okay? The best friend, the dog. I don't want to say his name because, you know, that's when he gets wild. He had my dress wrapped around him. I don't know if he's like turning into like, you know, what do you call it? Not a tranny, but I feel like the dog thinks that he can wear a woman's dress at this point. But I'm just joking. I think he was trying to get warm and he found a dress because I'm a woman and he found my dress. And he pulled it off of the hanger when the hanger was still attached. He just wanted to get warm. He doesn't have access to the bed when I'm not here. So he pulls the dress and he wraps himself in it or whatever, and he's dragging it throughout the house. So when I walked in moments ago, guys, I was scared because I thought it was a trail of blood. The dress in the like semi-light, I didn't have the lights on, particularly when I walked in, and when I turned on the lights, I thought it was a trail of blood, right? But it wasn't, thank God. It was just a dress that he was wrapped in. Again, I don't know if he wants to be a tranny these days, cross-dresser, or what do you want to call it, but my boy was literally in a dress. Okay, y'all. So yes, that is my best friend. Moving right along. So tonight, guys, I am really happy because as I was taking care of business today, I've gotten a lot of positive results and feedback in regards to the work that I'm doing. Let me say this, when you're super passionate about whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, never give up on your dreams, on your goals, on your visions. Does Queens have a Chinatown and Koreatown? I think so, yes, on the 7 line. There's a Chinatown, a Koreatown. I feel like a Filipino town. I don't know. There's a lot of Chinese people off of in Queens, but off like the 7 line. They call it something else. Help me out, guys, for those that are watching on the Aniya A show that's coming from Facebook and on IG as well. If you're watching on IG, if you know this area that I'm referring to off of the 7 line, there's a whole like Asian side of Queens. I've been through there and I don't know if it was because I got lost or what, but something was up there. I went through there, but I had a girlfriend of mine that actually had an apartment in that area. And it was like Koreatown, Chinatown. And she loved their food a lot, right? But either way, yeah, Flushing. You know the area. So why are you asking me, Christine Hollins? You know what? I'm done with your life. Anyway, having me to think and stuff, and you knew the area the whole time. Silly. But yeah, it's in Flushing, Queens is where that whole section is. And why are you asking that question again? Let me know. All right, guys. So real quick, before we get into tonight's topic, let me know, how do you guys feel when you are trying to pursue your dreams and your visions, and then you come against opposition? Today, I had a very interesting circumstance that occurred for those that are watching that were part of that meeting, earlier. You know, I don't want to say the name. Well, you know, I was at NAN earlier and something happened that was very disturbing. And one of the things about me is like, I honestly, first of all, I don't want to make this about me until I get some more comments out there, but I don't want to say anything derogatory towards anybody, but I just got to put it out there. Like, sometimes people come at you and they try you for whatever reason. And at the end of the day, like, people have to understand you cannot mess with God's anointed and God's children's. Okay. I really felt some kind of way today. And I literally looked at people in a different light and a circumstance. And the reason being is because, you know, when you have a passion, which I was just talking about earlier, and I want you guys to chime in. I want you guys to share how you feel about certain situations and circumstances in your life, especially pertaining to your visions and your dreams. Keywords, your, right? Dreams, your visions, right? A lot of people don't understand that when you're operating in a special gift, or you have a desire, for example, to see something happen in your community or for your people, you know, the one that's putting in the work typically has a reason why. They have a reason why they're doing what they're doing. Amen, somebody. And I know tonight is Friday, and I know a lot of people are not going to be online, but for those that are online and want to join in and chime in, let me know. I'll send you that Zoom link or what have you. But on a Thursday and a Friday, we typically don't have a large audience because people are back out and about, hanging out, chilling, whatever. And I ain't mad. I am not mad at y'all, because, you know, you need to get out there and live your best life. So back to dreams and visions. And this situation that happened today. And I'm looking at people like, you are very foolish. You are a very, very foolish person, or people. It could be plural, or a plural situation, or what have you. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but it reminds me what I'm referring to. And I'll just share this. I have a vision and a dream for economic growth in our communities. If you watch the Aniya A show at least a couple of times, you'll know I frequently talk about this, right? I haven't shared into detail with you guys about the Economic Crisis Initiative because it's a baby project that's gaining its wings. We're partnering with different people. We're working in our community locally, but I haven't given out much information about the Economic Crisis Initiative because it is gaining its wings so it can fly on its own, so it could become the entity that God wants it to be. You know, I had this vision and this dream like a while ago. And isn't it ironic that our good friend, Jason Murray, also had this dream and this vision, okay, years ago, and has been trying to literally help people and build something from this thing that he does, which is an excellent thing, which we're going to interview him about it, and we're going to work with him more closely. But he's a master at entrepreneurship, at building wealth, at teaching about economics and taxes and different things like that. And I'm working with Jason Murray and others like Kenyon Gregory, who actually care for our community. And we're putting our minds together, yet we get opposition today, guys. Hardcore opposition. And I could talk about this because I have a platform where I can vent. I won't put out names, but you know what? If they keep trying it, you know the names are coming out. Y'all know I don't play, okay? But isn't it just annoying how people will try to sabotage something that you're working on because they feel like they're entitled to do so? Not in this camp, okay? Not in this camp. And so at the end of the day, I'm sharing this real quick because I want to know from you guys, like when it comes to your dreams, your visions, and the different things that you aspire to, you know, attract in your life. Have you ever had opposition? And if so, do you want to talk about it? You could talk about it live on the Aniya A show, because that's what we do. We talk about the issues that everyday people go through, and we want to know how you handle certain circumstances. How do you fight back? Right? I know how I fight back, and I fight fair when I have to, but if I don't want to fight fair, I don't have to, right? But either way, I had to put that question out there. Yes, thank you, Mama Brenda. Stay focused on your prize. Honey, I just saw somebody's message just moments ago. I don't know who this is. Joanna Ambrose. Joseph, welcome. I love this, chica. Isn't it a beautiful song? So real quick, Joanna Ambrose, Joseph says, my opening song is beautiful. Thank you. That opening song is by the one and only Latchy. Oh, there's a lot going on outside of my window here. Lucky, please Come here, Poppy. Don't listen to these crazy people. Ignore them. They're fighting. That's right. Stay focused on your prize. Mama Brenda, you're absolutely right. Because when it comes to the prize, which is community development, you know, like literally helping myself and my local people, I cannot put myself at risk of gaining negative attention or doing something out of pocket. You understand what I mean? And so that's why I put that out there, because today's circumstance, which Mama Brenda knows all about, was really disheartening. It was absolutely positively sickening. Lucky, come here. Lucky, come and say hi to the people. Come and say hi. I know the people are fighting outside. Lucky doesn't like it when people are fighting outside, but it's uptown and they're gonna fight. Oh, thank you for the kisses. Okay, you don't have to give me all these kisses and hugs. So the people are fighting outside, and Lucky's not happy with it, and he wants to give me kisses. Oh my God, Lucky. Oh Lord, give me strength with this animal. Oh, let me get that off of my lip. Anyway, so yes, Mama, Lucky is one of these animals that is just really out of pocket. Like, he just thinks that he can just give you kisses all day long. Oh, he's a doggy. Okay. Anyway, so real quick, what was I saying, guys? Yeah, so Mama Brenda, like, that situation was just so disheartening. And that's why kind of the show title tonight is The World is Kind of Going Loco, right? What do you guys feel about what's happening in the presidential circumstance right now? And if it doesn't affect you, great, right? But if you guys feel some kind of way about what's happening, then you'll understand why I'm talking about this circumstance as well that I've been going through with people that are trying to sabotage an idea and a dream and a vision that I have. Welcome. Oh my God, that looks like DJ Lawless in the building. I haven't seen DJ Lawless in a really dope long time, son. What's up, sweetheart? How are you? Listen, those chickens, were they in the Bronx? Yes, they were up top. Yes, they were. Those chickens and those roosters that you guys saw yesterday or the day before on the Aniya A platform. It didn't come on Facebook. I mean, on Instagram, guys, but it was definitely on Facebook. Yeah, they were definitely off of 149th. Now that I'm out of the area, it was like 149th and 3rd. Oh my God. Like, nowhere in the country, not in Haiti. What's up, stranger? I'm good. I'm chilling. I got a new baby. His name is Lucky, Lucky Charms. He's a wild boy and he's the love of my life. How you doing? Where you been at? Let's talk, huh? Thank God you made it through the COVID. OMG, right? So people are fighting outside, and my dog has to be comforted and soothed because he feels like he has to go and attack, even though he's less than 20 pounds. Yeah, that's another story. So tell me what you guys think about what's happening in the presidential thing. That's why I brought this all together. Oh, okay. Do you work near there? Tanika, blessed and highly favored. Amen. Aren't we? Tanika, no, you missed this, sis. You missed it 2 days ago. I was at a lunch meeting, and all of a sudden I thought my eyes were deceiving me, and I thought I saw chickens and roosters in the street. And I did see chickens and roosters walking around 149th and 3rd. If you know the area, Tanika, then you'll know, like, there's these like Hispanic restaurants, and then down the block a little bit is like Marshall's and you know, T-Mobile and stuff. But that's where I was, right near the 2 and the 5 train, and I thought my eyes were deceiving me, right, guys that watched on Facebook Live? And all of a sudden these chickens and roosters were like walking and like picking stuff off of the street, and I'm like, am I in Haiti right now? Because I'm Haitian American, and I've been in Haiti, you know, out of Haiti for a minute. And then I don't think there's any farms out here, and there's really no grass out here. So anyway, I got the phone out. You guys know me as I'm having this salad, and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm live here because I think I see chickens and roosters. And then they got closer, and they were big as hell. I don't know what they're feeding on out here, but anyway, that's the story with the chickens and roosters, because Christine Hollins thinks it's so funny that she has to ask about the chickens and the roosters again. So That's what happened on 149th and 3rd. Chill, you talk about my hood. Oh, DJ Lawless lives out there, yo. Okay, he's saying chill because I'm talking about his hood. Well, why do you have chickens and roosters walking down the street casually out here? We're not on farmland territories. Come on. I was so shocked. There's buses going by. The train is underground. The people are shopping. People fighting. They heard you laugh out loud. Them chickens don't play. I see that. Listen, I was scared. And then they came towards me and the rest of the people sitting at the restaurant. And I was like, do you all want to be eaten today? Like, I felt like these chickens and roosters, you know, they wanted us to eat them. Because where I come from in Haiti, okay, listen, what we do is we take them bastards to the backyard and they go like this. Oh, I don't even have anything to twirl. Okay, I'll take this. Listen, yes, Tanika, they take them by the neck. Lucky, relax, okay? They take them by the neck and they go, and then the chickens and the roosters go, and then they die. And then you eat them. Like, and you make a stew with them. You make, you know, all sorts of chicken type of stuff. I like chicken salad. So chop, chop, amen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like the chickens and roosters were suicidal because you're coming up towards a Dominican restaurant. I know there's no, you know, Haitian restaurant up top like that, but the Dominican spot could have definitely used another chicken on that little turner, you know? Oh, thank you, Gregory Roberts. He says, lovely sight to see tonight. Thank you so much. It's good to see you too. Now, listen, guys, we could be on this chicken and rooster topic all night, but let's talk business, guys. How are you guys handling your lives right now? What do you see happening with the presidential thing? Tanika, sister, you missed a wild day earlier during the meeting today at NAN. I wish you would have been there, honey, because sometimes things get out of pocket. Oh, DJ Lawless said he grew up out there. Listen, I'm going to need you to call all your fam and tell them to come and get their chickens and their roosters. Okay, DJ Lawless? And in case you guys are wondering what Aniya A is doing, I'm talking to several devices simultaneously because I'm on about 5 devices at one time on the Aniya A show, building that production life up so that we can definitely do our thing. Hello, sis and the world. Welcome, Daffy. Daffy, you just missed the chickens and the roosters, child, about my video the other day. Listen, God is faithful, and we didn't get bit by no chickens and roosters, and no chickens and roosters were eaten during that course of crazy moment. Okay, let's say that. Talk to us, guys. Talk to us about how you guys are feeling out there. Like, is this world going crazy to you or no? I know for a fact that somebody said, if I'm not mistaken, that we're on that retrograde situation, which is like where the universe is at a weird axle or something. I don't know how to explain it. I'm Haitian American. We don't understand this stuff. We just understand Halloween is bad, Christmas is good, and we eat a lot of chicken and turkey and griot, okay? So when it comes to like the retrograde, you know, world off of the axis or whatever the hell is happening in 2020. We don't understand that unless Daffy understands that as a Haitian woman. For the others, those out there, if you comprehend why the universe is acting this way, let me know because I don't get it. I'm just here to chill and have peace on earth. Oh, mercy my, okay? So with that being said, also let me know how your day is going. How has your week been? You know, here in New York City, things are really out of pocket. It's not getting as much attention as I thought it should when it comes to the protesting. However, I'm getting the inbox messages. Our boy Hawk Newsome was just arrested and beaten pretty badly. Oh, my new race is Afro Hero. Your new race is Afro Hero. Break that down, sister. I need to hear more about that. And Tanika, we've missed you on the chat on WhatsApp. We talked about the Economic Crisis Initiative moments ago and how we are working towards making sure we are financially stable and educated in our own lives, and then we'll be able to help others become more financially savvy. Now, if any of you that are watching presently want to come on live, let me know. I can drop that link for you and you can be on live with me right now. Lucky says he wants to see your face because he is a dog with a lot of personality and he wants to know how y'all feeling out there. Right, dog? Right? And he got boogies in his eyes. I got to give him another bath, but I think he cries or something a lot because like, it's so weird. Like he has like either boogies or he cries, and that's why there's streams coming down. For you dog people out there, let me know what the heck that is, if that's just boogies, because I wash him like every week. But sometimes I feel like he's home alone crying because he feels like I don't love him. I feel like we are in a sci-fi movie comedy. Oh, sci-fi comedy movie. We auditioned without knowing. You know what, sister? God is the director and we are the actors of the movie of life. Like right now, especially, there's no explaining what's happening, okay? But I'm here for it because if you guys know anything about me, you'll know for like about a month or two before the election, Aniya A was very sick. I have real anxiety when it comes to the presidential elections. It's been happening for more than a decade, okay? And literally, I was not feeling good, and you guys would not have even recognized me on election day 2020, but God is faithful, and I bounced right back. You are so crazy about Lucky. I am, because he's my best friend, and he treats me good because you know why? He doesn't talk back like the fiance and stuff, you know, and he doesn't give me a hard time like these men's. He is real chill, okay? And he just relaxes. He just kind of does what I say. Sometimes he gives me a problem, but most times he's all right. And then he's very happy-go-lucky, right? When he wants to be. All right. So here we go. I missed you all too. We are the race that is saving America. Yes, Stacey Abrams in the building. Whoop, whoop. Let's talk about it. Listen, Stacey Abrams is doing that thing, honey. And I'm here to let you guys know that as a Black woman, especially one that does a lot behind the scenes politically, but also who has a very versatile personification and who's on television and radio, I think that Stacey Abrams really has that magic tea. You know, let me tell you guys something, which I was talking about earlier. Welcome, Honorable William Allen. Honorable William Allen, we were just talking about Nan from earlier today and all the stuff. Welcome, David McFly Mims. If anybody wants to partner up and go live with Aniya A right now and talk about this presidential thing, Harlem checking in, David McFly Mims. David, you need to check in and come live with your girl. We're talking about politics right now. We're talking about when you have a dream and a vision and when people try to like hurt you or try to sabotage that dream and that vision. Kind of what's happening in America in 2020. And I'm sharing how I don't understand why the world is acting weird. But you know what? Tanika just said that we are the race that is saving America. You know, they can break us, they can try to kill us, they can hurt us. But for some strange reason, we are so tenacious and so powerful that nothing is going to stop us. And that's the same thing I was referring to about the dreams and the visions, especially when it comes to economics and financial wealth and financial freedom, which was what I was talking about earlier. You know, when you're passionate about something, and we as Black people are typically passionate about every damn thing, right? Nothing will be able to steal your joy or kill your spirit, right? People will come at you. People will try to hurt you. People will try to overpower you or take over whatever it is that you're trying to maintain, because people don't know where your vision is coming from or where your heart is, right? Colt 45 is losing his mind. Let me tell you something. Before I finish that statement, Colt 45 done lost his mind, Gregory Roberts. He done glued himself to the White House and he said he's not leaving. He told y'all this before and he meant it, because everything he said he was gonna do, he's doing presently, okay? Let's go back to dreams and visions as we're talking about, right? Like what happens with a lot of people is they don't know where your heart is. They don't know why people are passionate about whatever it is that they're passionate about. So what tends to happen, especially with what I dealt with today, and you guys know I have to be vocal. I don't put names out there in the universe, but circumstances I got to share, right? When you have a vision and a dream, and when you see a problem that needs to be solved in life, and you know that you just have to make that first move because otherwise it's probably not going to be done, then you have all of this opposition, you know, coming against you. It's a frustrating situation. But what are you going to do? You're going to let the dream die? You're going to sit there and succumb to the madness? Or you're going to say, you know what? You don't know why I'm so passionate about this. And even if I explained it to you, it's going to go in one ear and out the other, because at the end of the day, you don't have my heart. You've never walked a day in my shoes. What people have to comprehend, especially when it comes to business, when it comes to organizations, when it comes to non-for-profits or whatever the hell, right? Especially in this day and age, you cannot impose your beliefs on anybody, because we are individuals and we have individual goals and dreams and desires. Work with the people around you. Do not push them away. Do not try to overpower them, because at the end of the day, you're going to be like a 45, a Colt 45, i.e. a Trump, and nobody's going to want to work with you. And that's the bottom line. Can I get an amen, somebody? So today was a very interesting day, right, Daffy? You already know, sister. We're not playing these games in 2020. And let me share why, too. It's very difficult a lot of times for people to comprehend where people are coming from. When you look at people, sometimes you can probably perceive that they've never been through nothing, that they have everything together. But you'll never know what people have been through unless they tell you, right? Unless they share their story with you. But you know what frustrates me, fam? When people hear the story and still proceed to be the assholes that they are. What's the purpose? You think I'm going to continue to be in a mess like that? Or am I going to walk away? Come on, you guys share your stories, huh? Have you ever tried to do something that you're passionate about and got one opposition after another, or one headache after another? Have you ever been through that? I know some of y'all have been. Daffy, I know, sister. Daffy is in upper management, I believe. Mr. David McFly MIMS, who's doing such great work in the community. I know Gregory Roberts has been through some stuff, and I know my sister Tanika been through some stuff. But Tanika has a testimony. Oh, and I know Mama Brenda be going through some stuff, especially, you know, I'm not going to go deeper into that, but Mama Brenda be going through stuff, but she overcomes. And she reminds me every day to just continue to be strong and to continue to fight. So share your stories. Yes, sis, I have. I knew it, Daffy, and I want you to share your story. Tanika, you have an amazing testimony. Do you want to share that with the people? I mean, I could share your personal testimonies all day, because I know a little bit about all of you guys, right? That's one thing I do, is I love listening to you people. And when I say you people, I mean my friends out there. And even when you share things on social media, you don't know. I'm watching and I'm inspired. Because at the end of the day, sure, yes, share, sister. My sister Tanika, whom I just recently met, has an amazing testimony. If you want to come on live, let me know. Actually, I'm going to post the link right now. Whoever wants to come on live, this is an impromptu moment. You know why we do this? Because it's testimony time, and it's a Friday. I'm so shocked that people are even watching online, but that's when you have a good product, right? When you are doing great work in the community for your local people, what happens is people gravitate towards you. You know, I wouldn't have enough money to pay people to do what they're doing in the community or joining me, but I want you guys to know something, that we're building and we're growing every day. And that's what it's about. I want to work with people, but I will not be insulted, and I will not take criticism that is negative, you know, intentionally. And people that want to hurt your girl Aniya A and try to literally overpower and supervise and act crazy and put their freaking, like, what the hell? Oh, let me not stress out, guys. Aniya A is trying to be really positive right now. I'm really trying, guys. But you know what? Again, I can't blame nobody for their ignorance. What I can say is this: if you've never walked a day in my shoes, you'll never understand why I'm passionate about what I'm passionate about, what I've seen in my life, what I've had in my life, what I've lost in my life. If you've never had nothing and lost nothing, then you wouldn't be passionate. And I don't blame you. How can you be passionate about something when you've never had anything and you've never lost anything? But if you've ever had anything and you've lost something, then you'll understand the passion that goes behind my purpose. So Tanika, I posted that link. Please join if you can, sister, if you want to share why I'm so happy to talk about, you know, the great news that you shared with me last week, right? That link is there. Please join, or anybody else want to share anything good that's happening to them. You know, we've had a very stressful past couple of months. We've had a very stressful past 4 years, and the worst week this week, you know. But if you guys want to join us and talk about some great stuff that's happening, please feel free to share. That Zoom link is there for all of you. Now, Christine Hollins, they probably eat chicken. Oh my God. Add to food in Chinatown and Koreatown, but I only thought there was a Chinatown in Manhattan, not Queens. I only visited Astoria area of Queens. Okay, I think so. So I didn't know it had areas like Chinatown and Koreatown. Okay, interesting. So why are we talking about this again, Christine? Let me know. But everywhere eats it. Oh, talking about the chicken. Oh, so that's why you're talking about it. My daughter is helping me. Okay, awesome. Let your daughter help you and join that Zoom if you can, my sister, and anybody else that wants to join and share any great information. Let me tell you something. Aniya A is an open book. What I love the most about life is positive news. Like when you are doing something, oops, sorry, doggy. When you are doing something amazing, you know, I love sharing it. You know why? Because there's so much bad news in the world. You know, I'm a part of a community that hears about murders and crisis and death and sickness 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. When I can hear some good news that's not politically related, or that is politically related but is on the positive side of politics, or if it's something good about the children, oh, quick PSA, two quick little messages. So this week has been sponsored, not just today and yesterday. This week has been sponsored by Bedrock Cleanup. Bedrock Cleanup is a full service cleaning and home improvement company. It is literally rubbish removal, post-construction cleanup, foreclosure cleanouts, and also painting and housekeeping. Call Totney Johnson at 914-308-6517. This week has been literally sponsored by Bedrock Cleanup. Totney Johnson. She's out of the Mount Vernon area, but she will travel, and definitely let her know that Aniya A has sent you. Presently, we have my sister TANIKA on. TANIKA INLAW Chamber. Hi, beautiful.
How are you? My daughter who's 16.
Yeah.
She was trying to help me get on because I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this.
No problem. That's why we have the young ones around.
She didn't know how to do it. She was like, I don't know how to do it. And then I had to tell her in Zoom. And then she's like, we're in here together trying to figure it out. And then I pressed it and I found it.
Listen, like, there you go.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm so happy you're on. So talk to us. I know you're super busy. Tell the people who you are real quick. And we're going to have to do another follow-up with you for like a full interview. But tonight, talk about some great things that are going on, beautiful.
You know what? You're beautiful too. Your spirit, my spirit sees your spirit. Oh, you're so sweet. So I am a teacher in the South Bronx, which I love my area that I really, really am very passionate about it. But I also have been in the past, I'm an activist such as you. I call myself a social activist. I started out, I was the president of the NAACP in a chapter in Westchester, and I also ran for state senator in the past, and my district was just the 27th Senate district. And I've always, I'm an educational advocate. And I was telling you and I, when we met, that I was so frustrated with the inequalities and disparity of education, and how even my school, which is in the transient area where a lot of people are in shelters, and when we went remote, when COVID happened.
Tell us real quick, for those that may not know what that transient community.
Oh, okay. Yes. They're in homeless shelters. So sometimes they're trying to look for places to live. Their parents are maybe in a shelter, or a lot of them move from place to place. So a lot of are in homeless shelters, or and so they're like, like the other day, I asked one of my students, Mom, well, I haven't seen you in a few days. And she said, I'm sorry, Miss In-Law, I had to go to housing court. I'm looking for an apartment. So it's a real struggle for some of my students in our community. But I have a passion, and I love where I work. I love the community, and I feel that they are me and I am them, and we are all one. So when I support them, I'm supporting myself. And one of the things that I guess I call it a praise report that you're excited for me to talk about is that that same community needed computers. And we didn't have enough computers in the Board of Ed. I mean, just didn't have enough computers. We're waiting and waiting. And so my principal came to me and said, Miss In-Law, I heard that you were the one to get things done when we want something. I was like, really? I had
really?
And I was like, what? She was like, technology. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, I'll talk to you about it. And that was like on a Wednesday. She's like, I'll talk to you about it on a Thursday, tomorrow. So Thursday things were happening. Things were going on. And guess what? She couldn't talk to me, but I reached out to a friend of mine, and his name is Marlon Wayans. He's an actor. Everyone knows him from the Wayans family. And I reached out to him, and you know what he said right away? He said, what do you need and how much? I said, I need technology. I need it for my school. It took, he's got a new movie coming out, so it took back and forth a few weeks. And guess what? He donated 100 computers to our school. And I was just so grateful to him. They'll be coming next week, next Tuesday. Oh,
I'm so proud of you. I am so grateful. Proud of you. And you know what? When we met, like you said, you were so frustrated. And I was like, you know what? We have to talk about the side of the budgeting and why we're in these disparaging situations. Yes. And I felt like at that moment, you didn't want to talk about that because you had an immediate need. And that was okay, because I saw how you as an educator, you have to deal with such a heavy workload. And Tanika, I want you to know live on the Aniya A show how proud I am of you. For everybody watching right now, you don't understand, this is such a big deal for our community and our kids. Remind us where you're located, sister, for these kids that...
My school is PS 140 in the South Bronx. It's right on 3rd Avenue, off of 3rd Avenue, but it's on Eagle Avenue, 163rd School. So when you said 149th and 3rd, I take the train there every day. So I'm like, that's right. I gotta look for these chickens now.
Telling you, because I was like, oh no, it wasn't that bad, but let me tell you the story, because I didn't know that's where you worked. And you know what? Presently, we have David McFly MIMS on. David is another huge activist. David, I don't know if you got to hear the story that the beautiful sister Tanika In-Law Chambers shared, her testimony of getting 100 computers for the children in her school donated. Donated, David.
So grateful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Definitely process and everything. Before I joined the Zoom, I heard a conversation of you talking about some of your students dealing with homeless issues.
Yes.
Yes, I was a social worker years ago at a homeless shelter. So homeless shelter. So I seen like a lot of dynamics of why people got into like homelessness and everything. I wanted to get like some of your experiences or viewpoints on the issues and what people need to do to get out of the homeless situation, because there's a lot of youth nowadays that's suffering from homeless, because also from being like in foster care. If they like age out, they get like put out into like the streets and the shelter system. And a lot of times it's difficult, because a lot of times when it comes to like the homeless shelters, a lot of times when some of the clients have to like work overnight or have to like work late, and they need like a late pass, they can't get it, and they almost like in they stuck between a rock and a hard place. Either they go to work or go to work and lose their bed, or save their beds, or make the curfew and lose their job.
Yeah.
And
Right.
these the people who runs these shelters and systems is really not good. It's not really good. They don't really have a heart, or really have like a full standing. They ain't there for age of being there for like a sincere purpose or a genuine spiritual purpose.
The compassion, right? The compassion is lost.
Yeah.
And it's not only in just those shelters, but I see a compassion in even education. I see the compassion in a lot of other areas. I think that that's the one thing that where a lot of us are missing is understanding if we were in the other person's shoes.
Yes.
How can you help me? Because I want to help you. And that's when I was telling a friend of mine that I was going to go for getting, and I'm not just going for computers. I'm going to donate. I'm going to try to get a large sums of money for my school. And I already realized that by me going and for large sums of money for these students, that reality, I'm doing this for myself. Because when you understand compassion, you realize that I'm helping you, but I'm really giving that energy to myself. Like, if you understand the way it works and the way the universe works, you realize that when you help other people, you're putting that seed for yourself.
There you go.
I already know that because I help my children in the school, that's so much money, like that's so much money going into my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, I don't know where, but it is.
Amen.
And so people like you understand that compassion. And that's when anybody could have been homeless. They say most Americans are one paycheck away from homelessness. So why would people not understand that nobody's better than I? No, there's no greater I am, And I love that Marlon understood that. I said, Marlon, thank you so much. He said, somebody got to do it, love. He understood that.
And may I just share this before you guys continue? So I typically don't share this publicly because of my Haitian parents and background and how prideful my community is, but screw them because they've never walked a day in my shoes either. I was homeless and I met David while I was homeless, and I wasn't a typical homeless. I was bullied out of my apartment. Somebody tried to kill me in my apartment in the Bronx, right? And I came looking everywhere for assistance and did not sleep in that apartment another day. So there's so many circumstances. And I used to cry when I broke down and told the story. And I would go into fits, and I can't sleep alone at night. So Mama Brenda just talked about how much I love my dog. It's because I can't sleep in a house alone because I have PTSD, and it's real, and anxiety is real. So I literally got no help from the police. I didn't know who the gunman was, but you know what that did though? It pushed me into activism, and it pushed me into the person I am now. So I wanted to share that with both of you and everybody watching, because I'm not the typical person that you would think would have ever gone through that. But
no, I wouldn't
happen. And that's how I ended up at the National Action Network. And another thing, and I have to remind people, that's why I'm so passionate about the Economic Crisis Initiative. And you know what? I'm glad we're talking about this, because when people look at me and they wonder why I go so hard or why I push, now this is where the emotions is, right? And if you guys really want to know the truth, right? I don't have to do any of this. I could be living my best life and not being the person I am, but my heart is for the people, because I know what it means when you look for help at your local congressman's office and they push you aside, or when you go to the local police 50 million times and they walk away from you and they make you look like you're a crazy person after they have all the evidence that a gunman tried to kill you. So when people try to push a narrative on other people because they've never walked a day in their shoes, screw you. Go to hell. You know what though? God has angels set up for people that are really in need. I just wanted to share that real quick.
That's deep.
Yeah, it is deep.
Ever imagine that? Like, you see, and that's what I'm saying. Homelessness doesn't have a face. People swear goodness it's just a person who's walking around with bags and stuff like that. No, No, it's not just that person. It's that person living in the car that's going to the shower at the going to shower at the gym, and might be holding a job or going to work in their own office but that's they have a passion and a dream, and they just can't work on everything. It's so many different faces.
And you know what? I was working, David McFly Mims knows, my former employer, who wasn't even supposed to be an employer, who bullied me into working triple overtime as I took showers in the damn gym. I had no running water and I had no bathroom because where I was living, I was couch surfing. The abuse and the bullying is real. But guess what though? I made it. And you know what? That's why I can empathize and sympathize with the person that looks like me, that pretends that they have it all together, but they are crumbling inside. And they can't cry out for help another day because they're so hurting. So Tanika, if you were wondering why was I so gung-ho about you sharing this story, because number one, I know what it feels like. And then you have the other side of your own family and friends that you can't talk to because you have a college degree.
Yep.
You've traveled around the world. I studied abroad in London, England. I've held big positions in the world and I've had a ton of money. But again, I could not save myself from a gunman trying to kill me. So if you wonder why, Tanika, I wanted you to share this story so badly. That's why.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's very deep. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that, I never really understood the dynamics of homelessness until I started working in a homeless shelter and becoming a social worker. And it's like so many different dynamics in reference to people who look like they're not homeless. There's people that I've seen like in the community like every day, dressed up, looking good, made more money than me and looked like they was like in a better position than me. And it's like walking into the homeless shelters. There's people who are homeless, they became homeless because it was like living with their parents. And they was like actually, living, under their mom's house, and they didn't work. They didn't they was very dependent on their parents. And then once their parents passed away and died, their name wasn't on the lease, and it was like kicked out. It was like that. People coming from prison, jail, and they're mandated into the shelters because their probation officers or their parole officers, because they have some of them have a felony and they can't go back into the projects or the community that they was in because the people that lives with them may have been felons or a whole bunch of other things. So they had to send them into the shelter. So it's like so many different ways of people being homeless, people not being financially literate, being in a vulnerable predicament. So when going back to the conversation that I heard earlier in reference to the presidential election and stuff like that, we have to focus on our local officials as well too, but not just that. Whether who becomes president, it looks towards Biden, but I'm waiting until Tuesday because things happen like an okie doke end up happening.
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes, there's so much craziness.
Something happens, so we have an electoral college, or all of a sudden, Trump end up having these 50, selective votes, and now all of a sudden, Monday he becomes, president again, So I won't be surprised, if some shit like that end up happening. But either way, if Trump or Biden gets into office, we have to worry about ourselves. We have to make sure our priorities are together. So whoever becomes in office, we don't have to worry because we have ourselves protected. So that's the most important thing.
I love that.
I always say to people, and I might gonna get some feedback from this, but
Speak your mind on the Aniya A show. Speak your mind, sister.
I'm a lifelong Democrat, and how I was told to vote for Democrat was for my grandmother. She told me to I didn't know how to vote. At 18, she said, vote all the way Democrat, all the way down. So that's what I did. But when I became educated,
yes,
I learned that I don't always vote. I haven't always voted Democrat. You know why? Because I vote the person who I feel that is going to work for us. And although we always, and I'm going to tell you, I always feel this way, and I feel like as a people, we need to start being stronger in finding a candidate that's going to work with us. Not because they're Democrat, because guess what? It's just, and I always go back to saying that, you know, why buy the cow if you get the milk for free?
Yeah.
If you're going to keep giving your vote to the same people who don't do anything for you, then you are not having any leverage.
There you go.
But if you look at the person and you say, well, what are you going to do for me if I give you my vote? Then we're saying something.
Yeah.
Now we're saying something. So we need to start rallying our troops, getting our people to say, you know what? Let's talk. Let's see what you're going to do for us. Because I'm going to tell you, we can say all this stuff about Democrat, but New York is the bluest state. And guess what? We are the most segregated school system in the country. The country. So all the red states that we talk about, their school system is not as segregated. Their school system is not as polarized. So let's talk the truth.
Or also the truth is that, you know, some Klansmen are Democrats.
They started this Klansmen. They started it. The Klansmen started it, and the Klansmen were the Democrats. When we talk about the history, I'm so glad you know, because a lot of people don't know that the Civil War, the Civil War was started because the Democrats in the South did not want the Northerners that were Republican, the Frederick Douglass Republicans. Okay. They did not want us to be free.
That's right.
And we're not educated. And the problem is that especially when it comes to politics, we deal with peer pressure, adult peer pressure.
Exactly.
And being bullied. You know, the thing is that when it comes to peer pressure, you know, since you're an educator and teacher, the misperception of peer pressure is within kids, adolescents, which is incorrect. Peer pressure applies to, like, you know, adulthood as well.
Absolutely.
Like with workforce and everything, your social environments. That's what peer pressure. So also in politics as well, you know, there's a lot of peer pressure, and we have to understand we're not really as educated as we think we were.
No, we're not.
Because, you know, we just became, you know, within, you know, 50-year time frame, you know, integrated.
That's right.
Martin, let's give it like after the death of Martin Luther King, when we really had, like, you know, our civil rights and the so-called quote unquote equality.
Right.
So, you know, that's you know it, and also, like, you know, to add, you know, we have to, like, learn from, like, a lot of stuff, you know, from Trump, like his behaviors.
Yes.
You know, why he behaves that way. And a part of that behavior is because he has options. You know, he's very wealthy and everything, and he has, like, his hands in a whole bunch of different businesses and power. So he's very nonchalant about this presidency. He's like, I don't give a fuck or give a shit about what's going on. Like, if you can impeach me here, he has that I'm rich bitch mentality. You know, like,
exactly.
whatever happens, you know, I feel good.
But this is the thing. This is the thing about that. What are we gonna do after everything clears up, or even now? Mobilizing and galvanizing, because it's one thing to know the history, but what the hell are we doing with the information? Welcome, Hassan Mayfield of New York, honey. Welcome to the Aniya A show. What we have to talk about, and I want to hear from both of you, because I know TANIKA has ran for office, and I know if she runs again, she's shutting this city down, because now Aniya A is on the team. And I'll be public about any sister that's running for office who actually has a track record of getting 100 children computers for their education. Hello. So either way, let's talk about what we're going to do moving forward, guys, and some of the solutions. Real quick, Mama Brenda says, I was there when you told your story at NAN. I remember you now. Mama Brenda, I've known you for like 4 years and you just remember me. But you see, that's God. Because when I did share my story about what I went through, I looked completely different. Because even though I was trying to hide the pain, that pain permeated through me, right? Now, your girl done glowed up. I'm back to me, honey. And then Christine Hollins, thank you, says, I wasn't trying to be funny about the chickens and the roosters. Oh my God, in Chinatown and Curry. You know what, Christine, we're gonna talk later. Christine now lives back in England and she's writing in all the way from England. You have people watching from all over the world. Let me know where you guys are watching from. It's your girl Aniya A, and I'm live with TANIKA INLAW Chambers tonight and David McFly MIMS, who are 2 leaders in the community. And I wanna hear from them about some solutions that they think that we can implement. Because one of the things that's happened, guys, and you can agree or disagree, but I know this to be true. When Trump came out, all the white sheets came off. And now we really see the truth. So now we can't go back in the dark and act like these racist good old boys don't exist. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do now? That's why the Economic Crisis Initiative is in play. That's why I do the Aniya A show, because being on live TV with Dr. Oz and these other people, though they're great, I don't have this platform to share what the hell I want to say. Everything is scripted when you're on national television, but I'm doing something different here. And I want to know from you guys and anybody else that wants to chime in, what are some solutions now moving forward since we know the truth? Either one of you can start it off, honey.
Go ahead, Tanika.
All right. Tanika will tell her little piece. So my whole thing is how one of the solutions that a friend of mine who's actually politically inclined, he's thinking about starting, and he has engaged in starting his own political action committee, where it's a non-partisan committee, meaning you can come in if you're a Democrat, you're Republican, your working family, your zoo family, or whatever, right? Any political party can join, right?
I love it.
And because of that, you get a power base, and it's not about segregating it. It's, it's about, we all want the same thing. We want to unify, and we want things for our community.
Yes.
So we start that kind of basically what do they call that? Political action committee, basically what Barack Obama was. What was he? Grassroots organizer.
Yes. Yep.
We started grassroots organizing from that local level, because we can't always look to the president. That is the last thing you should be looking at.
We need to start with
district leaders, city council, borough presidents, senators, legislators. The local elected officials is where we need to focus on.
Yes.
And then that's the one you can go and knock on their door and say, what are you doing with us? What are you doing for us? Show me the money.
There you go. Show me the money.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think is a start.
Well, that's
great idea. Let us know when that group starts, because we ready. And we also have different groups that we could be working with as we speak, because I'm a part of several organizations.
I know you are. You're a go-getter. You are a go-getter. It's inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. Same, sister. How about you, David? Talk to us. Some solutions, honey.
Well, the solutions is, the first thing that we have to do is we have to be honest within ourselves. We can't be filled with like a lot of facades.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. Like, for example, we can't portray that, in our community, we good, when we have like a lot of shit to take care of, a lot of things that we have to work on. Like, for an example, neglecting our children in our community. Children in our community, our children going through, drugs and all of that stuff, being raped, molested, different types of things. Because when our kids going through like all of this, they grow up, become adults, and they become dysfunctional adults.
Yeah.
Because then hurt, abuse, going through like a lot of trauma. When our people continue to go through trauma in our community throughout time, the community is going to continue to be dysfunctional until there is some healing, there's some counseling. So we cannot have, people expect, like they say, our children is our foundation to the future. And if our children is messed up and dysfunctional, our future is going to be messed up and dysfunctional. So we have to like focus on our youth and everything. Second, we need more parental training.
Ooh, parental training. I like that. Please say hi to the little one. We saw them pop in. I'm not sure who that was.
That was my daughter. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's so cute. Hi, honey. Welcome. Well, we're talking about the children. She is our future.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we need more parental training. The thing is, the problem is that, when our kids and our youth is in school and college, yeah, it's good to like learn the ABCs and, learning English and things of that nature. But we also have to learn how to be in relationships with people, how to communicate with people, because if you want to expect to be a politician and everything, you have to learn how to like have relationships with people, know how to communicate and things of that nature. So that's needed, parental training, so that you could like learn certain things and avoid pitfalls that a lot of parents before us, went through and everything. So our children won't be neglected or abused and everything. Get priorities together. That's important, as well as, being financially literate. Being financially literate will help you towards the economics. And what people don't understand is that, the people who are very wealthy or have generational wealth, they have generational wealth is because of, family, structural family.
Yes.
When a family is together,
brothers, breathe.
When the family knows about, life insurance, things of that nature, like if the father dies and has life insurance and everything, is passed to the wife, then so the wife be able to like take care of the children so that they won't be struggling, going through homelessness and things of that nature.
Or going to GoFundMe for a funeral.
Yeah, having property, things of that nature. One of my uncles, he was he was in city council.
Okay.
And in South Carolina. And I have a friend who's mayor of Peekskill, New York, Andre Rainey. And, he's a youth. And, he's young, he's like still in his 30s.
Wow.
And we also have to like, teach our youth also to like, communicate, be good in the community, and also have them be in positions of power so that they could be, young city councils or senators and things of that nature. They don't all have to, grow up to be like, singers, rappers, entertainers,
right,
that nature. So, that's also important as well. So it's not just like really one thing that, is a solution. It's like so many, things that's really needed and everything. And part of that is, family, knowing how, with the father and, mother being in the household or being involved with the child. That's definitely important because, we all, we can, do like a lot of things on our own, but it's a lot more better, if there's more of a teamwork.
Yes, you are absolutely right, David. Teamwork makes the dream work. Everything he said, I concur with 1,000,000%. And these conversations need to be had. And again, I do this because I see all of the issues around me. And a lot of times I can't be in everybody's face like, you got to do this and you should do this because you know what, this is the way it goes. So you know what I did? I started this platform so that we could plant the seeds, right? Because we can't reach the masses. So we have to do what we can and watch how those seeds go out into the world. And when you have multiple people on that are sharing great content, people are tuning in. Matter of fact, I have segments where I have panels, which Tanika, I would love for you to be on a panel. David has been on semi-panels because he just disappears sometimes, but we're going to get him on an all-males panel hopefully soon. And the reason I do the panels too is so that just like this conversation, people can have different opinions that they're listening to and growing from. Because again, you never know somebody's story until you hear it, right? And a lot of times people think they have it together. That's why I started Freedom Entertainment Group, my first company. It was because a lot of kids, like David is saying, they want to be the rappers, they want to be the singers. I lived in Atlanta, and of course I was privileged to own a home in downtown Atlanta and not have to sell the dope or sell the vagina to get what I needed, right? But I was in an area, and I bought this house because it was a pretty big investment house, and it was down the street from the train station, and I didn't want to drive, so I parked the car and took that train. Long story short, one day I woke up and I looked around me and I was like, oh my God, all these little Black young men are on the street selling dope. And these young sisters are tricking. And
wow,
this is a hard pill to swallow in an area that were family home, multi-family homes, beautiful properties. I'm not saying I was like super, you know, rich or whatever, but it was like this mixed community or thing or whatever. And then they had this school down the block for young people that were bad at one point. I don't know the name. And then it's like a transitional situation. And I had no idea when these kids would get out of school, they were on the street selling the crack and stuff. And then they would go back into school and act like everything was okay because they couldn't bring it in the property. Fast forward, I started my company off of the strength of watching this dynamic in this community, because I was like, if these young people realize their fullest potential, that they can take those same skills, weighing the crack or the weed or whatever, and multiplying and cutting. This is science and mathematics. If they could take those same skills of doing that, and they could just flip it into something positive, you know, we would have a better world. So that's why I started my first company, www.freedom entertainment group. You guys can see some of my events, etc. But it was from that visualization of, wow, because I don't do numbers good. I like to save and I like to count the coins, but I don't do all the other stuff. But these kids, they're like 12, 15, 16. They know how to sell crack. They know how to sell weed. They know how to break it down. They have these little weight scale things. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but okay, I've been in the hood, whatever. Y'all could judge me if you want to. They have these little weight scale things that I have goosebumps all over my body when I think about it. They walk around to weigh the damn drugs to make sure they're not being gypped and they're not gypping anybody else. You have all this knowledge, yet you're in the dope game. You're about to get killed for that stack in your pocket, yet you could be doing something better.
Bigger, yeah.
Let's talk about like, you know, why are they doing that? You know, sometimes, you know, I know some people who went.
Let's talk about it.
Is because, you know, there was like neglected, you know, maybe the father's not around. If the father's not around, then they're in a single mother household, you know, at times, and then, you know, they neglect it. And, you know, the kids, you know, the parents, like the mother, you know, let the, you know, the streets raise the kid.
Yes.
Not like some of these kids, you know, end up, you know, getting into like, you know, the drug game, or, you know, they get, you know, sexual experiences at young ages and all of that stuff, underage sex, underage pregnancies and things of that, you know. And, you know, the mom, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like for you, like you, for an example, Tanika, I'm pretty sure you don't really see like a lot of, you know, parents, you know, attend, you know, a PTA meeting, you know, like a lot of times, you know, when it comes to like, you know, the rooms and everything, or, you know, the rooms where the parents are supposed to meet, you may have like maybe like 1, 2, you know, 300 parents, but, you know, they're sure able to like, you know, make it to $2 Tuesdays, you know, to have
or Popeye's chicken sandwich line.
Hey, or that Nike line. Okay.
Kelly concert and everything, you know, it's real messed up. But, you know, these is like, you know, this is real issues and things that, you know, people don't like to really talk about in reference, like, you know, parents and all of that stuff, you know, kids being neglected, you know, the PTA meetings is, you know, limited. But, you know, you go to like, you know, the bars and, you know, the after work spots, you know, you see like all these mothers there. And You know, I'm a single guy, and I've seen like a lot of women that I've met, you know, had children. I'm like, damn, you got kids? Where your kids at? It's like every time I see you out,
I
out
think
in the club, and all that stuff, you out with your girls, and you know, you on Instagram doing all these pictures and all that stuff, and on social media. And I'm like, your kids, like, you a mother? Like, like when I grew up, you know, I didn't know mothers like.
Listen, your grandmothers are looking better than Aniya, and I haven't had one. I have a puppy. His name is Lucky, and I got a gut I'm trying to get rid of. Look, Lucky, lay down. I got some of these friends that are grandparents, and I'm looking like, OMG. But real quick, I have to take a moment. There's a couple more comments that came in, guys. We have Deborah Andrade, that's the bestie from South Florida, who says, what people don't realize is sometimes they don't have any other choice. They gotta eat. I like that comment. I want somebody to refer back to that in just a moment. And then Aries the Voice, who should also be online with us. He's being shy because he just got married, talking about a two-family household. Aries, as a Black man, just got married to Earth, and so he should be on here talking as well. And he says sometimes it's not even that. It could be a great household that just needs extra income. So it seems like two of these people, stop talking to your turtle. It's not a turtle, he's a dog. I have a dog. She says I'm talking to my turtle. You know what? Come on live on Facebook so you guys can talk about what you feel. And if you want that link again, I'll post it. But real quick, I have to do another quick PSA. Our sponsor of the week is Bedrock Cleanup, who literally has sponsored all of this great time to help us with this project, the Haiti Give Back Project. I have to take the time out to share about both of these things that are happening, because that's what we do. We do the grassroots thing, but this company, I want everybody to support Tani Johnson. Welcome A. Gregory Harris from the National Action Network, who just joined us. And Bedrock Cleanup is located in Mount Vernon, but she travels, and it's a Black-owned business. And what we do there, I say we because I'm helping that sister, a full service cleaning and home improvement company, rubbish removal, post-construction cleanup, foreclosure cleanouts, move-in and move-out cleaning, as well as painting and housekeeping. She also does great organizational things too. And her name is Tani Johnson at 914-308-6517. You could also find her at www.bedrockcleanup.com, without the K, Bedrock without the K. And now, real quick, a quick PSA of this project and initiative for anybody that wants to join your girl Aniya A, talking about getting donations. My sister, we may have to work together, because if we think we have it bad in America, then you should try the children overseas. I have an orphanage of 40 children in Haiti that need actual school uniforms. They're not asking for $1 million. They're not even asking for computers, even though they could probably use those tools. But they need the bare minimum, the book bags, the school supplies, and the uniform. So we have an example of our babies up top. I created this flyer overnight. And you know what? I want to shout out Aries the Voice, because it was from his donations, from his organization, that launched this project back into fruition when he sent us boxes of school, not school, but toys for children, blankets, sheets, and beautiful accessories for children. Now, I want to share that a lot of times we forget about those that we can be helping, because we have a lot of stress on our own. Yes. Overseas, the people there think that money grows on trees, I think, right? Because they look at Americans and they're like, OMG, y'all made it, but they don't know about these $1,400 rents for a half a bedroom studio in Brooklyn or in Manhattan, or the $2,500 mortgage for the 2-bedroom. But either way, they don't know the struggle. But what I want to say is this: because of Aries and us talking and working together, and him bringing this, the toys and stuff to us, we are now able to collect a lot more stuff and ship these items to Haiti. You know, the children need a toy, right? They need school clothes for sure, because we don't want them to be naked, praise God. But if we can send them different things like school supplies, that's what we're working on. And this Saturday, the 14th, not tomorrow, but next week, Saturday, on November 14th, we'll be at Drip BK in the heart of Brooklyn. Shouts out to Miss Naika for bringing me to Drip Brooklyn. which is at 830 Rogers Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11226. And it's the Haiti Give Back Project. The special singer for that night will be our sister Yaya MPL, who sings about the sadness of Haiti. And she shares her heart through her music as a young Haitian American. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because if we think we have it bad here in America, which we do, I'm not downplaying that we got bills, y'all, but imagine a third world country and a political regime that doesn't care about the children. And I want to say this about America, and I always say this: we know how America started. We know the crap that goes behind politics here. But one thing I gotta say about America is this, coming from a Haitian background, knowing what it's like to be from overseas. You know, the political people in America, they have to do certain things. They have to create streets. They have to give you street lights. They have to have a hospital. They have to have a library. Not saying they have to do it, but we have laws and we enforce certain things in this country to make sure that we at least get treatments in hospitals, etc. But you know what happens in third world countries? These bastard politicians, they shove their pockets with the money that's supposed to go to take care of the people, and they literally let the people die. And I'm not just talking about Haiti. I'm talking about places in Africa, throughout South America, some places in Puerto Rico. Look at Puerto Rico now. Look at some places in Cuba. Look at some places in Venezuela. Okay? That's all I'm going to say for now. Support Aniya A. If you would like to donate or sponsor or partner with me, you can contact me directly, or you can email me at theaniyaashow@gmail.com. It's best to just contact me here, or you could cash at me something. Everything that I do is transparent, so you'll never wonder where your stuff is going, because I'm going to let you know. I got videos, pictures, and we don't play that because I want y'all to trust me so we could do great things together. Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Whatever else that you guys want to talk about, it's up to you. I just had to share that. And sometimes I get really passionate because I hate these bastard politicians that don't care about the people, y'all.
Yeah. I just to add to his, I was so impressed with Damon is his name?
What, David?
David McFly Mims. Yep.
David, right?
Yep. Yeah. I say the whole name.
I was impressed with what you said, because as an educator, people always focus on the academics, and I know that academics are important. However, what you said about their social emotional health, that is so much more important than academics, because you can be the most intellectual person, but if you don't have a emotional intact, then you will not be successful. But if you are not intellectually like if you are not so have intellectual prowess, but you have a good discipline and emotional tact, you can thrive in your life. So I appreciate that you stated that, because a lot of people always focus on, oh, gotta know the ABCs, gotta know the 1, 2, 3s, but they don't focus on what you just touched on, is that social emotional component of life, which is the most important thing about it goes into human relations and all that other thing.
Yeah, so because the thing is that, there's always, people who's like, in college, have like degrees and master's degrees and like, I'm educated type of mentality. And there's nothing wrong with education. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
Oh, knowledge, you could know a lot about things, but if you're not wise, then you're not able to like implement that knowledge into like something that you could like benefit from. That's why, you see a lot of millionaires and billionaires didn't even really have
college degree.
College degree. Don't even have at least associate's degrees.
Nope.
And like for example, I believe Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they didn't even complete college.
Nope.
But once they succeeded in their career, they gave them a what? They gave them an honorary degree. And why did they give them an honorary degree? Do you really know, Tanika?
Because it helps the school with marketing. Like, that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay, that's it. And also,
and the philanthropical work and the things that they do to benefit other people. literally in communities, etc. too.
Yeah, but let me tell you the real reason why they give people who didn't graduate college and became very successful in their career and honorary degree. The reason why is because they have students spend all of this money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to like get in depth, to like get this master's degrees, this doctor's degrees, and somebody who may have finished high school. Let's give it. They finished high school, don't even have a college degree. Made millions of dollars, maybe billion, maybe reach $1 billion. Made more money than their students and everything. Right. So it embarrasses the college.
Right.
Like, why should I go to college if you know this person, Jay-Z, Diddy, you know, they billionaires and they didn't even go to college. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they made
Zuckerberg didn't finish either college.
Billions of college, you know, they made billions of dollars and they didn't even have a master's degree.
Right.
You know, they want to attach that degree, their name, their college name to the that honorary doctor's degrees.
Right.
That's why they give it to them. Because if they don't and everything, then students ain't gonna really want to try to, like, you know, go to their college.
Right. Yeah.
They do that attachment and everything. That's why they give people, you know, honorary college degrees. So, like, you know, I have you know, a bachelor's degree. I'm like, I don't even really need to, you know, get a master's degree. If anything, you know, the next degree I'll get, you know, hopefully by the grace of God, you know, I'll get a honorary, you know, degree or so. Well, I'm not trying to get, like, you know, go back to school to get like
I don't know if it was you, David, or somebody that joined the show one time who said they make more money doing Ubering and different things like that, like doing their passions of like photography and things. I don't know why I thought it was you. It might not have been you, David.
Listen, I think maybe it may have been me. I probably said that.
I feel like it was a while ago. David was like, I make more money doing what I love and I'm passionate about than having a full-time job with this degree, which we have to pay thousands of dollars back. So David, you're absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah, I have friends, people I know that have, like, you know, master's degrees and they're, like, you know, struggling, you know, don't even have a pot to piss in an apartment. Nothing. And, you know.
My cousin is the same. My cousin has, I mean, I have a master's because I have to and it works for me. However, I would have never got the master's if I didn't. I got the master's because it was needed for the job that I want. Like, however, I believe that you should not just go randomly and get in these paying for education that is not paid back. Like,
talk about that. No. What you just said is so huge because some people chase that degree without having a backup plan for that position. But you said something that I've heard before, but I just don't like school. I graduated at 16, went straight to university and graduated at 21 after studying abroad because I can't be under these people, whatever. But funny enough, I would have gone back to school if it was really appealing and somebody would have paid me for it. And there was an organization that tried to pay me to go back for my master's. And I was like, this is a great idea, but how long am I going to be stuck here? Like, because I was always traveling and
anyway, that makes sense.
So talk to us about that, Tanika, because I want to hit on that point. And then, of course, we're going to have to come back another day with you two or even do a panel because we're going to shut down in a little bit. But Tanika, I love what you said. And I want you to expound on that for somebody that may be thinking about going back to school. They want a better education. They want more money in their position.
Okay, right. So for me, I went back to get my, oh God, I'm going to tell my age, but I went back to get my master's.
You look great.
I already had a daughter and I was already in my 30s. Like, and you can see how big she is now. So, so that shows you that. But
you look great. Black don't crack, sister. Black don't crack.
That I went to get that master's after I already said, they told me that I needed it in order to be educated, to be an educator in the school system that I'm in.
Wow.
However, I always tell someone, don't go back to school just to go back to school. Go back to school if you need it for your passion or things of that nature. Because I know, so I have a cousin that she keeps getting these. I call them professional students.
Yes.
And then now, whatever job she gets, she'll never get out of debt.
Never.
Because she has so much debt from it. It's so much, and it's like you want to be free. Like for me, I feel like I was one of those people, and I'm going to tell you, my grandmother, who I was raised by, that's a whole nother story. Background is like, I was awarded a state when I went to college.
Wow.
So the thing about that is, I was one of those. After I graduated college, I never ever had a regular job. I don't like to work.
You're breaking up, Tanika. You're breaking up. Uh-oh, I don't want to lose her. David, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I like to be free.
Okay.
It's because it gives me so much time off that I was like, oh, I'm going to be responsible for my children. So for me, I'm an artist. So my artistry is an actor, and I was doing so many different things. My grandmother goes, girl, when you going to settle down and get a job? Well, I'm never going to do that because that's not what's going to make me happy.
Love her.
Okay. So whatever my spirit says, and I tell my children, do what you love and the money will follow. And if you don't, my girlfriend, who happens to be last week or 2 weeks ago, she goes, girl, she's not Black. She was like, girl, you're Black. You need to, you Black. This is the time for Black people. You can get a job, a high paying job. Da, 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 da. She told me this. Now she is a CEO of Archie Comics, right? She's very, very well off. I said, you know what, Nan? Money doesn't inspire me. I like money, but my passion is to be happy.
Yes.
So for me, my happiness is more important. And so what I feel like what people need to do is don't go chasing degrees. Go chasing dreams.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what to me is gonna happen. You're gonna get the money. God takes care of birds. They don't have no, they takes care of cats, dogs. They don't worry about money. You're going to be all right. Just go with your passions and that money will follow. And I think that is, and like you're doing right now, you're doing your passion. This is passion. You're having fun. I think fun is the most important thing. And I tell my children the same thing. I tell them, I say, yeah, I want my children are doing well in school now. Nice. However, they know that my life, and their father is I told you, he's a judge up in Westchester. But him and I are totally different. Like I was the campaign manager for him.
Wow.
However, my energy is the one that pushed it.
Yes.
And it had nothing to do with my intellect.
There you go. You knew your stuff and you were able to push for what that end goal was. And we had a comment coming in saying, wait a minute, what? She said not to go to college. No. She's saying go to college, but be passionate about whatever it is that you're going. Don't just chase these dreams. Like these college degrees, like the song said, don't go chasing these waterfalls, stick to the, Anyway, the bottom line is don't chase these degrees, because what happens is, and this is what happened with me, I had an opportunity, and I love the fact that we have similar backgrounds, Tanika, because I didn't know that about you with the acting, etc. I actually was approached in college a number of times. I was going to be the next Vivica A. Fox. Matter of fact, do you see this picture? That's of my first photo shoot that I did when I got out of college. But, I have to share this story again for those that don't know this part of my life. My Haitian parents, I always go back to them. When I got approached by major assistant directors and producers for movies from like Will Packer, like,
wow.
Pandora's Box, Christmas movies with Chris Brown, Will Packer and those, Rainforest Films. This was a while ago. They said I would be the next Vivica A. Fox. I didn't know what that meant, because they said I could never go into the entertainment industry. I had to get my college degree. They said they didn't want to hear whatever they call them devils in the entertainment industry. So they would not let me go into acting and modeling. And I was like literally like 75 pounds less, perky boobies, all of that. Cute, nothing wrong with the face. I was the perfect, next Black, role, whatever. Fast forward, one thing I will say is I'm glad I stayed in school for the reason that when I finally got around to running after that dream, and trying to find that producer from the movie industry, that she gave me her card. Her name is Veronica. I'll never forget her. I think I found her on Facebook years later to tell her I'm so sorry. By the time I got to Atlanta, where they were, she already moved on to LA and was doing bigger and better. But it was my education, my intellect, and my energy that saved me. Because had I not had that education, you know, because I graduated, my Haitian parents said I had to graduate, get that college degree, do my, you know, years, and then I could pursue whatever I wanted, right? And looking back, I'm glad, because it set me up for real life, having that discipline. All college really is, in my mind, is just discipline. Because when you have no structure, like, it's kind of different. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you wake up, you go to a job, somebody tells you what to do. But when you are in university or a school, or you have a discipline or something you're attaining, like a degree, it's a difference. Like, I don't know how to break it down. Maybe I don't, you both have degrees. How did I explain it to make sense?
Well, you know what? I would say like this. You know, it's not really always about with what you know. It's about who you know.
Yes,
energy. And that's what politics is really about. You know, politics is really about, like, you know, nepotism. But it's real sad because, you know, when other cultures do it, it's all right, you know. But when the black
pass down everything, and most of them don't go to school.
Yeah, when black people does it, it's always a problem. Oh, you can't do it. It's against the law. You know, they want to threaten you when you do, like, you know, the nepotism. But, you know, people do it. It's really messed up. You know, like I said, it's not really about with what you know. It's about who you know. Because, for an example, like, you know, you have like these companies and these organizations, when you approach them with a resume, what they first say, oh, you don't have enough education and everything, you're underqualified. So you go to college, you know, you get yourself like a little associate's degree to say like you got an education and everything. Now they still say like, oh, you're underqualified. Now you go, you know, to the extreme, you know, you get a bachelor's, you get a master's or a doctor's degree. Now they say you're overqualified. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, it's like what Dr. Umar Johnson says, you know, they just didn't want to hire your ass anyway.
Yes!
They really didn't want to hire your ass anyway.
And so that's why I had TANIKA share that about having that position, and in order to get to that next level, stay there and get paid to get that extra education. I love that you shared that tonight. But you're right. They didn't want to hire your ass. So when you do get in them doors, you better stay in them doors. Hello.
Yeah. So, you know, the thing is that, you know, and then you're in debt. You're in debt and everything. And that's the thing about, you know, another thing is like when it comes to like our community, the black community, like before, like years ago, many years ago, they had trade schools where people didn't even really have to go to college.
That's great.
They learn plumbing, they learn electrician, they learn mechanics.
That's so important.
So they go to for the time that, you know, people spend to like go to college and get degrees, they go to like these trade schools for a fraction of that time, and, you know, they're not in as much debt, you know, if they're any debt at all, and, you know, they have like these skills that they could use for like the rest of their lives. But when you go to college, you know, you could take all of these courses and many of these classes and courses that, you know, this trigonometry and all of these physics.
Don't make no sense.
That you may not even really need unless you're trying to work for NASA or you know, trying to be like an astronaut. And, you know, they want you to like, you know, measure, you know, the gravity of like how, you know, the rock falls in Mars and Pluto, and you don't even really need that. What you need to do is like, you know, have these type of skills that you could survive, such as, you know, architecture, like I said before, plumbing, electrician, you know, mechanics and everything, building, construction and things of that nature. You know, construction is very popular in everything, but, you know, unfortunately, like a lot of the Mexicans and like the immigrants is like, you know, trying to take it now. But, you know, construction is really, you know, important now. especially like when it comes to hurricane season, where like a lot of houses and homes and buildings get destroyed, or places where they're like natural disasters such as earthquakes. A lot of these skills that people learn from like trade school, is needed and is very helpful compared to like a lot of these colleges that give you like a lot of these courses that you wouldn't even need. So that's important. That's important, and
Yeah.
we lack those type of things. And another thing is that when you see like a lot of other communities and like cultures, they have the kids, like for an example, like in the Bronx, like within Hispanic communities, they have like the bodegas, the stores and everything,
Yes.
pop shops. What they do, they have like the kids in there working with them, so they learn the trade and everything like at 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Like 16, 17, 18, they could be able to like run the shop by themselves and everything. So they end up having like their own business because it's a family business. If the parents decide to like retire and everything, they can pass the business down to like their children. When you go to like the corner stores with like a lot of these Arabs and everything, they have like the kids in there learning as well too. And then when you look at some of the pictures in like a lot of these Arab stores, what they have like the kids with the guns, the AKs and everything. So they already know their military training. They already know how to defend themselves and things of that nature. Where we lack those type of things. So we have to like learn how to like empower ourselves and teach the youth in reference to becoming self-sufficient and self-sufficient, efficient, and independent and everything. And entrepreneurship is really important in learning skills that you can like be able to like use and utilize throughout your life, not just for like only like this time period and that's it. Because a lot of times when you have like these jobs, when people lose their jobs, they become like helpless and everything. They don't know what to do because they don't know, because a lot of times these jobs is not a life, they're not able to like use it for the rest of their lives. They only use this task for like this specific job, and that's it. If they get laid off or fired, they can't do anything else.
So with that being said, the mentality mind shift, like we have to be able to change our minds around all of these topics. And that's what we're doing here every day on the Aniya A show, but also throughout the different groups. I hate to cut it short because this conversation is really amazing and we're getting a ton of feedback, which is what we love here on this platform. But we're going to have to follow up and do a part 2 because I'm traveling tomorrow, but I also have some things that I have to finalize tonight. With that being said, I want the people to stay in touch with you all. I want us to do another segment and have more conversations and more great follow-ups. So I was wondering, can you both share your contact information? You don't have to share your numbers or anything, but if people want to stay in touch and maybe get more inspiration or what have you, do you have a website? Do you have information that people can reach out to you?
They can reach out to me at ps140inlaw@gmail.com.
ps140 INLAW? Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. Please repeat it. No, I just wanted to get it in my head, but go ahead.
ps140inlaw@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Tanika INLAW Chambers. You have been so amazing tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, of course. And, we have to do this again because your life is just so amazing. And I want to follow up about the political side of things, too. We got to keep on reinforcing this. David, where can people find you, honey?
All right. So I'm just going to make it simple. You could just like Google my name, David McFly MIMS, or at HD McFly, HD MCFLY on Instagram, Twitter. I'm not gonna give out my number because I'll be having like weird people calling me and stalking me and things, so I ain't gonna have that.
That's why I say you don't have to do that. Look, some people feel comfortable with. No, real quick, I gotta share this. Somebody once on my show was like, if they're weird, I'll just block them. I'm like, they wanted to give out their number, but if they're weird, I'm like, oh my God.
That's funny.
Yeah. But you were saying something, David. What else did you say?
Instagram thing. That's a good one. Tanika In-Law Chambers on Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, you have Instagram too. Lucky.
Yeah.
Sorry. Lucky is saying follow him on Lucky Charms with a Z 143 on IG. That's what he's saying. Lucky, right? That's what he's telling you guys. Follow him on Lucky Charms with a Z on 143. Okay. He is a nut. That's why I was like, I felt like he was gonna start acting up. So I was wanting to shut down before this guy gets crazy. Come here, dog. All right. So look, we're gonna follow up. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all of the great work you do. We're gonna play Latchy as our closing song. Support Latchy. She's actually a disabled African Black woman whom you will never know that she is fully blind. Latchy, it's our time. You can stay on and listen, or you can have an exit and talk with me at another time. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching, supporting, and sharing all this great information. Good night.
Okay, good night. I'll hear the song. It's nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Lucky.
Take care.
Take care.
We just want a piece of the pie. So we pack our bags and run. Said we pack our bags and run. Trying to walk on the wire. Cause there's nothing we cannot overcome. Nothing we cannot overcome. They don't realize. They don't realize. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. They're not gonna take us alive. They must not know how we do. They sure don't know how we do. We're gonna fight to survive. They will not knock us off our groove. They will not knock us off our groove. They don't realize. They don't realize. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time to fly. They'll see with their own eyes. It will come as no surprise. We'll climb the rock most high. It's time for new chapters to fill the pages of love, life, and laughter. I pack my bag, look ahead into the light, and I'm ready to claim my dreams, and I'm ready to take the flight. And I admit it in my heart, I feel a little fear. I'm racing towards my destiny. I gotta keep my conscience clear. The blue skies got a star I should be standing on. It's my turn, and I'm ready to take the world on. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Rule the world. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. It's our time. Our time to fly. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna Good night, everybody. Good night. See you soon. Bye.